I pray at the divine feet of Mother Lalitambika and my divine gurus to bless me so that I am able to speak it in a simple manner and explain the Lalita Sahasranam so that everybody can understand. I am trying to explain this in the layman's term. Today we are going to start the Lalita Sahasranamavali or the Lalita Sahasranamam. It has 1000 names. It is a conversation between Hayagriva and sage Agastya, and this entire Lalita Sahasranam was spoken by Vagadevi, who are the attendants of Sri Lalita. I won't go much into the story of it right now. We will focus on the stotram and the meanings of the words. Usually when you go to the temples in South India, normally it is chanted like a stotra. So it goes like Om Shri Mata Shri Maharagni Shri Sinhasaneshwari Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta Deva Karya Samudyata Udyadbhanu Sahasrabha Chaturbahu Samanvita Ragat Swarupa Pashadhya Krodha Karankushojjala. This is how it is chanted. So this is one of the ways to chant, and when we chant in this manner, it is called as Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. So it is like again, Stotram means praises. So all these different names are nothing but they are praising the goddess, or they are describing the qualities of the goddess. They are describing the pastimes of the goddess, and they are describing the beauty of the goddess. So this is Stotram. Stotram means praising. Praising in 1000 names. Praising the goddess. Praising goddess Sri Lalitambika, divine Sri Lalitambika with the 1000 names. So one way is to recite the stotram. Another way is to worship her using the namavali. So the same stotra is broken into 1008 names. When we chant the names, it is usually accompanied by the worship of Sri Chakra, where we take rice and offer it to Divine Mother's feet or the Sri Chakra, or we take flowers, or you can do the archana with some dry fruits, or you can do kumkum archana. Archana means offering of vermilion to the Sri Chakra by saying all the names. So how it goes, I'll just give you an example. Like when in the stotra we say Om Shri Mata Shri Maharagni Shri Sinhasaneshwari. So this is the first line. In Namavali, the same thing is broken. It goes Om Shri Matre Namaha, Om Shri Maharagye Namaha, Om Shri Sinhasaneshwari Namaha. The next one is Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta Deva Karya Samudyata. This is second line in Stotram. Same thing goes in the Namavali as Om Chidagni Kunda Sambhutaya Namaha, Om Deva Karya Samudyataya Namaha. Again, in the Namavali, sometimes instead of saying Om, you can use other Bij mantras based on your Guru. If your Guru Parampara has given you any mantras, usually it is Ring or Ang Ring Shring. We can say like that also. Ang Ring Shring Shri Matre Namaha, Ang Ring Shring Shri Maharagne Namaha, Ang Ring Shring Shri Sinhaseshwarai Namaha. This is the best way to say, because Ang means Saraswati, Ring means Bhuvaneshwari, and Shring means Lakshmi. Ang Ring Shring, when we add this Bij mantras and say the Lalita Sahasranam, we are bringing the energy of the other three Devis also. So Ang Ring Shring Shri Matre Namaha. So these are different ways. You can say Om Shri Matre Namaha, that also is right. Ang Ring Shring, if you add, that also is right. There is another one, Ang Kling So Shri Matre Namaha. Ang Kling So is again the Bij mantras. So these are different methods, but if you have any Guru Parampara and the Guru Parampara has given you any other mantras, any other Bij mantras, you can always add those Bij mantras with these names. Now let's go back to the stotra again. So as I told you, for worshipping, you use a Sri Chakra, a picture of Divine Mother. Usually wear yourself a red dress. If your ladies are worshipping, we are advised to worship Divine Mother fully dressed up, like when you go to meet some queen, How will you be dressed up? You will not be dressed up simply. You will be really dressed up nicely to meet a queen. Similarly, when you start worshipping Divine Mother, you should always be dressed up very beautifully, very pleasantly, and go and do the puja. Neat clothes, clean clothes, red colored clothes preferably. And in India, Fridays, in South India especially, Fridays are considered as the best day for Sri Lalita Ambika. So Fridays are the best day. Try to make it a habit of at least chanting Lalita Sahasranam on Fridays or on special days like Purnima. Those days are very, very good for Lalita Sahasranam. And Kumkum Archana, I have seen some really rich people doing Archana with pearls, 1008 pearls or 108 pearls, or I have seen them doing Archana with diamonds also, small diamonds, 1008, 108 diamonds. Some people do Archana with 108, 1008 golden flowers made of gold. So whatever you can, whatever you have, whatever is your capability, though Goddess does not want all that. Goddess only wants water is fine to her. Tulsi Patra is also fine to her. Willow Patra is also fine to her. Any sorts of flowers is fine to her. So but more than anything, the love of your heart is what you should offer to her. So if you have nothing with you, no worries. Just chant the mantra, and with every mantra, just offer the love of your heart mentally. So this is the way you actually worship Sri Lalita Ambika. Now let's go to the meanings of each and everything. So the first one says, Om Shri Matre Namaha. Let me read the whole shloka first and then the separate names. I think that will be easier. Om Shri Mata Shri Maharagni Shri Mat Sinhasaneshwari Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta Deva Karya Samudyata. I'll break the names. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Om Shri Maharagne Namaha. Om Shri Mat Sinhaseshwari Namaha. Om Chidagni Kunda Sambhutaye Namaha. Om Devakarya Samudyataye Namaha. Now let's go to the meaning of all of this. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Om Shri Matre Namaha means she is the mother. She is the universal mother. She is the mother of all. That is as simple as that. She is the divine mother. The next one is Om Shri Maharagye Namaha. Maharagye means Rani. She is the greatest queen. She is the greatest empress. She is the queen of the entire universe. Maharagni, the greatest queen of the entire universe. Srimat Singhasaneshwariyai Namaha. Now, Singhasaneshwariyai Namaha means she is sitting on the throne of Singhasan. Singhasan means a throne of lions. Okay, so she's sitting on the throne of lions. Now here, again, like earlier, we have discussed about in the Dhyana mantra that she is Padmasanasthaya Namah. She's sitting on the Padmasan, and I told you Padmasan means the lotus of the mind. Now here it is Singhasan. What is a Singhasan? So Singha means a lion. And what does a lion indicate? A lion indicates somebody very ferocious, somebody very brave, somebody very strong. Now here the lion indicates a devotee. Devotees, any devotee of Lalita Ambika, strong, fierce, very powerful. Why? Because sadhana is not an easy job. To take away your mind from the entire world, for some time, and be steadfast in your devotion, be punctual, be determined to do the Lalita Sahasranam, to do the worship, is not an easy job. You require a willpower, and a very, very strong willpower to continue this day after day, weeks after weeks, months after months, year after years. To continue steadfast on your devotion requires willpower, requires strong determination. Now those who do this, they are compared to lion. Only a lion willpower, or the strength of the lion, will help you go on this path of spirituality. That is why it is said, Srimat Singhasan Aishwarya Namaha, the one who sits on the lion's back. So here the lion is the attitude of the devotee who is willing to do anything to be with Divine Mother. So when a devotee has that lion-like willpower, the strength, the power, then Divine Mother sits on such a devotee's back. Om Chidagni Kunda Sambhutaya Namaha. Chidagni. Chid means chitta, chitta means consciousness. Chidagni Kunda Sambhutaya Namaha. Sambhuta means she comes out. She comes out from where? From the fire of chitta, from the fire of pure consciousness. So whose consciousness? The devotee's consciousness. When we are on this path of spirituality, practicing, chanting Lalita Sahasranam day after day, slowly our consciousness, which gets dirtied by the worldly affairs, it slowly starts becoming purified. And once it becomes very, very pure, then out of that pure consciousness, Divine Lalita Ma emerges. So this is what it is. Om Chidagni Kunda Sambhutaya Namaha. Salutations to that mother who comes out of the fire of pure consciousness. Om Devakarya Samudyataya Namaha. Devakarya are all the good actions that we are doing, all the spiritual actions or all the good actions, good thoughts, whatever we do, those are called as Devakarya. So, Divine Mother comes out from pure consciousness and helps promote all the good activities in the world. Om Devakarya Samudyataya Namaha. Salutations to such a mother who promotes all good activities, all the divine activities in the world. Om Udyat Bhanu Sahasrabhaya Namaha. Here the form of Divine Mother is now described. So first it was said she is the mother, she is the queen, she sits on the throne of lions. She comes out of pure consciousness. She promotes all divine activities. But now here the form is like Udyat Bhanu Sahasra Abhaya Nama. Like thousands, not thousands, millions and millions of suns when they come out. The Abha, the effulgence, the radiance that they give. Divine Mother's radiance surpasses even that. So salutations to that mother who is as radiant, or in fact more radiant, or whose radiance surpasses the radiance of combined radiance of millions of suns rising together. So Om Udyat Bhanu Sahasrabhaya Namaha means her radiance surpasses the radiance of thousands of rising suns. Om Chaturbahu Samanvitaya Namaha. And when she is emerging out like this from the fire of pure consciousness to promote the divine activities, with an effulgence, with a radiance of thousand suns rising together, she comes out with 4 hands. And what are there in the 4 hands? Om Raga Swarupa Pashadhyaye Namaha. She is holding a noose in one of her hand. The noose represents Raga or attachment, power of love. Okay. So Chaturbahu. So she is having 4 hands. Chaturbahu Samanvitaya Namaha. 4 hands. One of the hands is holding the noose, which signifies the power of love or attachment. Om Krodha Kara Ankushojjvalaya Namaha. And one of the hand, she is holding an Ankush or a goad. Okay, Ankush is for restraining all the evil forces, all the demoniac forces, all the negative forces in the life of the devotee or in the world. So she has a noose, which is the power of attachment, a goad, which is for restraining all the evil forces. Om Mano Rupekshu Kodandaya Namaha. Kodanda, she is holding a sugarcane bow, which indicates the minds of the devotee. So we salute to her who has the Ankush, who has the goad, who has the sugarcane juice. Om Pancha Tanmatra Sayakaya Namaha. And she is holding a flower arrow which has 5 flowers in it, which the 5 flowers indicate the 5 subtle elements in the universe. So we salute to this mother with 4 hands holding all these 4 things. Om Nijaruna Prabhapura Majjat Brahmanda Mandalaya Namaha. Now we salute to Divine Mother who has arisen like this with 4 hands and with her radiating effulgence, which is of a reddish hue, which is of the orangish color, Nij Arun, which is of the color of the rising sun. Prabhapura Majjat Brahmanda Mandalaya Namaha. The whole universe is bathing now with her effulgence. So the meditation goes like, we salute to our Divine Mother, we salute to the Mother of the Universe, the Queen of the Universe, we salute to the one who is born out of pure consciousness, who sits on a throne of lions. We salute to this Mother whose radiance surpasses the radiance of the thousands of suns, and who has 4 hands. In the 4 hands she has 4 nose, the noose, the gourd, the sugar cane, and the arrow of 5 flowers. And then when she comes out, the entire world, the entire universe is bathing in her radiance. That is the meaning of Nijaruna Prabhapura Majjat Brahmanda Mandalaye Namaha. Om Champaka Shoka Punnaga Saugandhika Lasat Kachaya Namaha. So till now, all we were seeing was Mother in her radiant light, brilliant radiant light. What color of the light? Like the morning rising sun, like orangish reddish hue. Now we are going much closer and trying to see each and every part of her form. So it starts with her hair. Om Champaka Shoka Punnaga Saugandhik Lasat Kachaya Namaha. Now Divine Mother has shining locks of hair, and on those locks of hair she has flowers. What flowers they have mentioned? Champak, Ashok and Punnag. Champaka, Ashok, Punnag, these are very, very fragrant flowers. They are somewhat yellow, orangish colored flowers and reddish flowers also. When we think of Mother like this, and when our attention goes on the flower, understand, meditation is a process where all your internal senses becomes alive. Here you start smelling the flower from yourself internally. Slowly, 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 when your meditation deepens, this form starts coming in front of your eyes, and whatever has been written in this Lalita Sahasranam, everything actually you start experiencing from inside you. So the smell of the flower, the champak, the ashok, the punnak, everything starts coming in front of your eyes, and you start feeling it. You start actually feeling the curly locks of Mother's hair. That is how beautifully Lalita Sahasranam has been described. Om Kuruvinda Manisheni Kanat Kotira Manditaya Namaha. After the locks of hair, we go on her forehead. On her forehead, she is wearing a crown of Kuruvinda gems, which are again reddish in color. Om Ashtami Chandra Vibhra Jadalika Sthala Shobhitaya Namaha. And when we look at her forehead, which is adorned with a crown of red Kuruvinda gems, her forehead also resembles like that of a crescent moon. There is a crescent moon on the forehead. The forehead also resembles like a crescent moon of Ashtami. Om Mukhachandra Kalankabha Mruganabhi Visheshakaya Namaha. So from hair to the crown, then now the meditation goes on her tilak. And what kind of tilak is she wearing? She is wearing the Kasturi Tilaka. Again, the Kasturi has a smell which attracts everybody's mind. So she is wearing the Kasturi Tilak, which is like a spot on the moon. The Kasturi Tilak is little blackish. So the Kasturi Tilak is like, her face is like a moon, but on the moon there are black spots. So similarly, the Kasturi Tilak which Mother is having on her forehead appears like the black spot on the moon. So this is Om Mukhachandra Kalankabha Mriganabhi Visheshakaya Namaha. Om Vadanasmara Mangalya Griha Torana Chillikaya Namaha. Her face is so beautiful. From the tilak, we come to her eyebrows. Her eyebrows, they resemble the archways leading to the abode of beauty. Basically, her face is the abode of Kama or Cupid. She is so attractive that her face is the abode of Kama, and her eyebrows resembles the archways or the doors to the abode of beauty. Om Vaktra Lakshmi Parivaha Chalan Meena Bhalochanaya Namaha. So we first meditated on the hair with flowers, then the crown, then the Kasturi Tilak, smelling beautifully, then the eyebrows, the archways of the Cupid. Now we come to the eyes. The eyes, they have been described as like, she has some very chanchal, very moving eyes like that of a fish. Fishes flowing in water. So mother's eyes are really moving because it's moving because she's seeing everybody. She has to see everybody. Her eyes are in all the 3 universes, and to every corner of the universes she's moving. So her eyes are very beautiful and they are always moving like the fishes in the streams of water. Om Navachampaka Pushpabha Nasa Danda Virajitaya Namaha. So from the eyes we come to the nose, and her nose is very shapely like the Champaka bud, small bud, yellow bud, and her face is, her nose is very shapely. Om Tara Kanti Tiraskari Nasa Bharana Bhasurai Namaha. And on her beautiful nose she is wearing an ornament, a small gem, which exceeds the brilliance of the planet of Venus. Om Kadamba Manjari Klipta Karnapura Manoharai Namaha. So we meditated on the hair, we meditated on the crown, on her forehead, on the tilak, on the eyebrows, on the eyes, on the nose, and now it is said she is wearing kadamba flowers over her ears. So here she is wearing a kadamba flower. Om Tatanka Yugali Bhuta Tapanodupa Mandalaya Namaha. Now in her ears she is wearing the orbit of the sun and the moon. So when you look at the sun and the moon, their orbits is nothing but Divine Mother's earrings. Om Padmaraga Shiladarsha Paribhavi Kapola Bhuhu. Her cheeks are so reddish in color that they surpass the mirrors of ruby. So if somebody makes a mirror of ruby, the mirror of ruby will be very smooth and very reddish. But mother's cheeks are more smoother than that. All mirrors of ruby fail in front of her cheeks. So our meditation went from her curly locks, the flowers on her curly locks, beautiful smelling flowers, from the beautiful red crown she is wearing, to the Kasturi Tilak which smells so good and is attracting the mind of all devotees, to the archway of her eyebrows which is the abode of beauty, to the eyes which are swimming like fishes in the streams of water, to the nose which is like a small champaka bud, to the ornament on the nose which surpasses the beauty of Venus, to her ears which have the kadamba flower here, to the earrings which are the orbits of the sun, and now to her cheeks which are surpassing, which are the beauty of mirrors of ruby. Om Navavidruma Bimbashri Nyakari Radanaschadai Namaha. Now we come to her lips. Her lips are reddish in color. What kind of reddish? The bimba fruit, they say. Bimba means the pomegranate. So if you see the pomegranate, those seeds are in red color. So the seeds are little whitish, little pinkish, and within that there is red color. So that juicy red pomegranate color is the color of the lips of Divine Mother. Actually, all these material things we are using to describe the beauty of Mother. But Mother's beauty is beyond all these things. We have nothing in this world by which we can compare the beauty. So whatever little things we get here and there, those words have been used here to describe the beauty. But Mother's lips are much more beautiful than bimba or any other fruit. But here, for our purposes, for our little minds to understand, this example has been given, this comparison has been given, that Mother's lips are like the reddishness of the bimba fruit or the pomegranate fruit. From the lips, now we go to the teeth. Om Shuddha Vidyankurakara Dvija Pankti Dvayojjvala. She has a set of brilliant white teeth. So first the reddish color of the bimba, now the brilliant white teeth. What are these white teeth? This white teeth indicates sprouting of pure knowledge. Shuddha Vidyankurakara, sprouting of pure knowledge. Shuddha Vidyankur. Or that pure knowledge, what is that pure knowledge? That pure knowledge is Sri Vidya. So her teeth is sprouting of pure knowledge. Aha. Om Karpura Vitika Moda Samakarshi Digantara. She is, in her mouth, she is chewing camphor and betel. And the smell of that camphor and betel is like spread all around the universe. So meditation, this is what meditation is. This is what dhyan of the nama is. When we are meditating, after some time, you will by heart all these names. But if you meditate in this way, take time off slowly, 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 and try to meditate on each and every part of Divine Mother, then actually you will start feeling the smell of the camphor, the smell of the betel, the taste of the betel, the smell of the flower, the every little thing that has been described here, you actually start experiencing in reality. That's how powerful Lalita Sahasranam is. But for that, you must not go on chanting like a parrot. It's okay when you go in a group, you're sitting with a group and chanting, everybody's chanting, you're also chanting. But in the solitude of your home, when you're sitting alone, or you may choose some place in the mountainside or near a riverside, or wherever you feel connected with nature, you must sit. And when you meditate like this is enough. You don't even have to read 1,000 names altogether. But meditation is the thing, the dhyana is the thing, to get into the form, to feel the touch of the softness of the cheeks, or the softness of the lips of mother, to feel that, to imagine the knowledge coming out of her teeth, to imagine that whiteness, or to imagine that glow, or to just be sitting in that glow for hours and hours. You don't have to come out. There is no hurry to finish the Lalita Sahasranam. Just one name is enough to take you to Lalita, to connect with her. This is what the Lalita Sahasranam is. Om Nidsanlapya Madhurya Vinirbhatsit Kachapye Namaha. Now the meditation goes on her speech. So the meditator has to think of her speech. When she speaks, it says, her speech is more melodious than the veena of Saraswati, which is known as Kachapi. So Mother Saraswati plays a veena, and veena has a very, very beautiful sound. Mother's speech surpasses the sound of Mother is so nice and so lyrical or so melodious that it surpasses the sound of even Saraswati's Kachapi veena. Om Mandasmita Prabhapura Majjat Kamesha Manasaya Namaha. And her radiance is so beautiful that even it attracts the mind of Kameshwar. Kameshwar is Lord Shiva, who is her spouse. So her smile and her radiance, she smiles. Mandasmit means very beautifully, silently, gently she is smiling, and her smile and the radiance of the smile captivates the mind of Kameshwara. Om Anakalita Sadrishya Chibuka Shri Virajitaya Namaha. Her chin is so beautiful that there are no words to describe the beauty of her chin. Om Kamesha Baddha Mangalya Sutra Shobhita Kandharaya Namaha. And she is married to Kameshwar, and she is wearing a necklace or a Mangal Sutra of Kameshwar. So this is the meditation on the face of Divine Mother. Then slowly we'll go to the meditation on the other parts. So with this one I will end it here. These were shlokas or mantras from 1 till 29 in Namavali, or if you are reading the Lalita Sahasranam Stotra, these were the shlokas from 1 to 12. So we just ended from 1 to 12. If you practice it this way, and if you have any experiences, please do share, please do comment, and if you have any questions, please do ask. Whatever possible, whenever possible, I'll try to answer it. Jai Gurudev. Thank you so much.